For me, I was able to pivot and say, okay, I'm going to take, a lower paying job, even though another position came around that automatically put me in another bracket. So it was good. It all worked out. But there were a lot of sacrifices and a lot of times where I felt like I lost my identity, who I was, being in a powerful position. And it's like, I'm not that anymore. No one's going to know me. And not that everybody has to know me, but it's just different when, you're respected and all those things because you're in a high profile position and then it's gone.
One, two, three, four.
Welcome to the Lean Podcast, Ladies Empowerment and Alignment Network. I'm your host, Mahogany, and this is Season 2. Let's start with a short prayer. God, I pray this season speaks to every heart listening. May these stories ignite purpose, restore hope, and remind each woman that she is never alone. Amen. Hey y'all, what is up? Welcome back to Ladies Empowerment Alignment Network, Season 2. Today I have with me Chrissy Harrison, also known as Chrissy Being Chrissy, owner and founder of Core Performance 3816. Help me welcome Chrissy.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, y'all. Today we are in one of her beautiful Core Performance 3816 space rentals. It is beautiful here. Sounds awesome. Y'all could hear that.
Yes.
We're real excited to be here in person. And most of all, I'm really excited for you guys to get to know this phenomenal woman here beside me today. She has an amazing resume, but besides that, she's just an amazing human in general, has created some amazing things and spaces for people. It's just amazing, like how you are in all these different circles and people know you, and then it's always good things.
Yes.
Like I knew you before I even met you. I knew you. Like I've heard good things. So
that's good.
So that's the goal, y'all. So that's the standard. I'm gonna let you do some introducing yourself. Just tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and things like that.
Okay. So Chrissy Harrison, like she said, known as Chrissy. So I guess I don't want to say stage name because that sounds weird, but my name that I kind of go by on social media is Chrissy Being Chrissy. But born and raised in Gary, Indiana. I moved to Texas in 2006. Basically brought my 2 young children here and just made a way out of no way in Texas. I had a few family members, but it was just me meeting new people, finding my way, finding my career and all those things. So I became very involved in the community just because I had to know people. A lot of those folks were people that my kids knew, moms doing the mom programs, the Mom's Day Out programs, and I was never a room mom. Let me just clarify, never a room mom. But I was always there helping with the little Valentine's Day parties and
PTA.
stuff like that, yes. But just raising up through the ranks in my career, starting at a low-level position and just moving myself up to a chief of staff position and then ultimately a CEO, and just going through all the ups and downs of doing that. That's really who I am.
Wow, she really gave it to us in a nutshell, you guys, like from start to finish like this. Just going back a little bit, how many children do you have?
Okay, so here's the thing. We have 6 kids.
Yes.
We're a blended family. We are the Brady Bunch. My husband, Chris, came with 3. I came with 3, and we have 3 boys and 3 girls.
Wow.
So ranging from 29 to 16.
Okay, so you're a busy mom on top of that. You're not
Yes.
just an entrepreneur, y'all, because I know a lot of times the ladies, they're like, I can't because I have kids, or I can't grow this business because I have responsibilities outside of me. My life is not my own. No, this woman here is like, there's still a way to make it happen.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to you laying the pillars and building your community when you first moved to Texas, where did you start? And what was your own personal battle with that, like in a whole new place where you don't know people?
So I started in Mansfield, and everyone in Mansfield knows each other. It's a very close-knit community. So I don't want to say they weren't welcoming, because they were. It was just they had to really get to know who I was and know that, okay, she's a genuine person. She just doesn't kind of know much about the Mansfield way. But kind of when they saw that I was really showing up for my kids, it's almost like we welcome you into our circle, because those are the kind of moms that we want in our circle. So getting to know the teachers, everyone, and then even working here, pretty much everyone has kids. So when you start kind of hanging with your coworkers' kids, going to their family events, your network just continues to grow. So
Okay, that's good. And what were you doing career-wise at that point when you first got here to Texas?
I was working with the local government, with the North Central Texas Council of Governments as an operations specialist. That was my first job when I came to Texas, and I was there for 6 years until I went to the private side, where I traveled for work. That's all I did was travel for work.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess that takes the fun out of traveling a little bit.
Not when you're getting points, and you can use those to take your kids on trips, your parents on trips, whatever you want to
Nice.
do, because I was on the road every week, pretty much every single week. But I mean, the payoff was during the summertime, I would take my kids with me, and I would have my mother travel with me so she can take care of the kids while I'm working.
That's so nice.
Oh, yeah.
Have you, and I know now you're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur, or were you okay and comfortable in the corporate world? Because you had a good job. So I'm like, why leave that, you know? So have you just known it's not for you to be working under someone?
I loved helping people. That was always my thing. And I always noticed that in every position that I was in, there was always someone beneath me that could have done so much more with themselves. They just didn't have the right guidance or person kind of telling them and pushing them, you can do better. A lot of employers hire you for the position that they've hired you for, and they just allow you to do that position. And a lot of times they don't push you to do more because they need you in that position. So when it came to promotions, I saw people missing out on opportunities because they're like, no, I'm comfortable. And I would say, why are you comfortable? This is your salary, because obviously in leadership, I knew a lot of salaries. And I'm like, you can make more money and you're not happy. So why are you so comfortable in that position? So everywhere I went, I always saw that there was a need. And the other half of that was leadership. Leadership, they are stuck in their ways, and it's kind of my way or the highway. And if you look at a lot of positions across, some of the leaders, they got that position because of who they know, not because they put their blood, sweat, and tears into this role and they were promoted up. And half the time, you know more than them. So you're taking, direction from them, and then they're coming back to you saying, okay, that didn't work out. What should I do? Well, you told me to do this, and I'm following your lead. And that always bothered me. I didn't want anybody to cap where I was going, nor my salary. So I said, you know what, Christy, you can do this on your own. You can stop giving 70 hours worth of work to somebody else. Give it to yourself. So that was really my thought behind that.
Oh, wow, that was a motivator. That'll do it right there.
Yes.
You're looking around, right? Like, y'all ain't going nowhere. I can't sit here with
I
y'all
can't-
for too
no,
long.
no.
Like,
We have
nothing's
to-
happening.
We have to grow. We have to go and grow.
I love that. I know you touched on leadership. How important is leadership in the workplace to you?
Very, very important, because it starts from the top. And I am the type of leader that pours into my team. I am not, yes, I'm the leader, but we are all here together. If I need to, go down in the weeds with you, I'm there to go down in the weeds with you. Because ultimately, if you're not happy, you're not going to produce. If you need time off, if you're tired and you need help somewhere, I'm here, because as a leader, I should know how to do every single thing that everybody else is doing that's under my lead. I don't have to, do the fine, like if it's an engineer that knows how to do coding. No, I don't know how to do coding, because those were people that I was over when I worked in public safety software. I don't know how to do your job, but I know how to ask the questions to help you get assistance from your peers. So if the leader does not know how to manage their team, they're gonna fail. And some people just like barking orders, because it's this, I'm better than you, I'm higher than you, even though I didn't do anything to get here. And that's not all leaders. A lot of leaders did work hard to get to where they are. But there are those leaders that know good and well they should not be in those positions. And that's what my goal was, to make sure if I'm coaching someone, I'm going to coach you to the point where you've earned that position. And you know how to stand up in those rooms, and you know how to tell them exactly what they need to hear and what they need to know to show that you need to be in that position.
Yes.
So I'm real big on that, and especially women in leadership. Use your voice. Never let anyone talk down to you and make you feel small, because, look, I'm not going to say we all know that we
We know.
but no, we know a lot. But a lot of times, they're barking orders at us, and it shuts women down, and they don't want to speak up in these large spaces. And I worked in a male-dominated industry, so no, bring it down, honey, bring it down. Let's talk through this.
Right.
But yeah. So.
I love that. So when it comes to, let's say, a woman who is in corporate America and she wants to be an entrepreneur because she no longer wants that cap, is there a way for her to do both and enjoy work and have that freedom and flexibility? Or would you recommend jump ship and go get your job? I asked because there was a point in time where I left my full-time job and for 2 years to be a full-time real estate investor. Although it was successful, it was not like long-lasting. And so now I'm in a different space where I'm like, I can be my boss chick era and work 9 to 5 at the same time, as long as it's, like you said, you're happy, you're not dwindling away because you hate it.
Right.
So what advice would you give to a woman who's in that limbo of like, can I do both?
Okay, you can absolutely do both. However, you have to be very strategic about it. For one, what is your passion? You have to know your passion, because it feels different when you're chasing your passion versus just trying to start any job to look for extra money, because a lot of people do that. They hear about ways to make fast money and they say, okay, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. Let me jump into that. That's not the way to do it. But you have to have a strategy. You have to have a plan. I always tell people, your passion is not a true passion if you're trying to go after it without a plan, because that plan is going to guide you throughout whatever it is you're looking to do. And you have to know what your goals are, because ultimately the goal is to leave corporate America. You can run 2 businesses, but you're never going to be able to give both 100%. You're going to get burnt out, and you're going to say, okay, I'm used to this check. I'm just going to keep getting my check every 2 weeks that I'm comfortable with. But I would say work both until you are 100% sure that you're able to have money coming in, and leave your corporate job. Do not leave your corporate job making a lot less than what you're making as an entrepreneur. If you're making $100,000 and your business is making 20 or 30, do not leave your day job, especially if there are people depending on you. If you have kids or a spouse and, together y'all's income works, never put anyone in that position, because that will hurt you mentally, spiritually, physically, and all those things. And you'll feel like you failed. And then next thing you know, you'll be looking for another job when you gave up the one that you should have kept. So,
yeah. I got blessed. My job was still there when I got back. I tried something in between, but you're right. It would be a bad situation.
Very.
What are some things women can do to prepare themselves for entrepreneurship or starting that business or coming up with them ideas and making the plan before they actually leave corporate?
So I do workshops, and I work with individuals one-on-one. But I do have a workshop coming up on January 24th, and it's basically, it is for people who are in a career or you're an entrepreneur. You can come in and kind of listen to other people, network, and we go through the steps of building your brand. Who are you? What are you trying to develop? What are you trying to do? If you just want to grow in your career, you can get that from that workshop. Or if you are in a career and you want to start your business, you'll get that out of that workshop. Because I kind of pose those questions that are going to make you really think about it. And you'll leave there with not a huge plan, not a true plan that we do during my core strategy consultations, but you'll leave with an idea of either I don't want to do this
That's a good
or I want to book a full consultation because I do want to start with an actual plan. It could be a 5-year plan. It could be a 1-year plan. Whatever it is, you have to know which direction you're trying to go in. And even all the fine details, how much is it going to cost for you to start that business? So those are things people don't think about. They don't think about all the different applications you have to have. If you get social media, who's going to manage it? If you're already not really using your social media, who's going to do all this for you? How are you going to push your services out to people? That costs money. So
it's true, but have your money together.
Please. Please, it helps.
I really loved how you said, you have to have a plan, because as you're going through this 5-year, 10-year plan and life starts hitting you, you got to have something, a blueprint to look back at to remind yourself why you're in that. Yeah. What is some encouraging words or something that women can do to make sure they stay on course with the plan? Because I know there's a lot of things coming out in your book, Chrissy being Chrissy.
Yes.
We didn't even get to highlight that, really, y'all. She has a book coming out. This lady's is doing so many amazing things. But she does share a lot of her life stories. I know you and I got to talk one-on-one a little bit about some of your triumphs and things that you've been through as well. So how important is that plan, and how do you activate that plan when life is life and you like have this plan that you've done a consult with a professional, and now life is hitting you left and right? Like, how do you keep going?
Accountability. You have to have someone that keeps you accountable, and it could be a spouse, partner, best friend, somebody who understands you and they're willing to say, no, you got to get back up and keep going, because there will be days that you want to quit. That's a given. Even when you're successful, there will be days that you want to quit. But once you have the plan, so a lot of people, I stick with them, and they can talk to me once a month, and we just kind of talk through it. It can be an hour, 30 minutes. Where are you on your plan? Because everybody doesn't want to retain 20 and 40 hours. Everyone is on a different budget. Mm-hmm. So if you're able to just come in and say, okay, Christy, I just want to talk to you once a month, I'll keep you going. I'll keep you on track. If your budget does not allow, then you have to have someone that holds you accountable, especially even people who are very good at keeping their stuff together. You can lose motivation, lose confidence and everything in what you're trying to create. So you have to have an accountability partner.
Yes. Okay. I love that. That's a new one we haven't heard yet. Accountability partners.
Yeah.
So with your family dynamics, have you had to like sacrifice being a mom or sacrifice being a wife to be this powerhouse woman? Like, how does that balance look?
I have. And, looking today, just looking back at who I was, I was on autopilot. So I left every Sunday to fly out to another state to help my clients, and I came home every Thursday. My 16-year-old, she really didn't get that part of me because I stopped when the pandemic hit. That's when I stopped traveling like that. So most of her life, that's how I was traveling. So I would fly home to make sure I made it to the award shows, to the different dance recitals, dance competitions, cheer competitions, all those things. It was not the healthiest thing to do, but during that time, that's what I had to do financially to make sure that we could afford this lifestyle that I wanted to live, that I wanted my kids to live, which that's them being in all these activities. We live in Texas, y'all.
They do a lot.
It is a lot,
Sports
and
mission.
it costs a lot to do all those things. So just making sure that we can still live comfortably. I sacrificed a whole lot. However, when Chris and I got married in 2020, he's the one. It's so funny because a company called me and they offered me the position, and Chris was like, I didn't get married to have a roommate. And I was like,
sorry, our husband over there.
I didn't understand what that meant. I was like, what do you mean, a roommate? I'm coming back home. Yeah. And he's like, I did not get married to have a roommate. And it clicked like, you know what, Christy, no. Because you would be, with this position, I would have been in Scottsdale, Arizona pretty much every week. And so,
it's nice out there.
I mean, but that wasn't my home. So, just kind of talking through that. And that's when I really made the change, which I took a pay cut, staying home. But I had a supportive husband that was like, you know what? If this is what we have to do to make things happen, you're fine. I got you. And everybody doesn't have that. So for me, I was able to pivot and say, okay, I'm going to take, a lower paying job, even though another position came around that automatically put me in another bracket. So it was good. It all worked out. But there were a lot of sacrifices and a lot of times where I felt like I lost my identity, who I was, being in a powerful position. And it's like, I'm not that anymore. No one's going to know me. And not that everybody has to know me, but it's just different when, you're respected and all those things because you're in a high profile position, and then it's gone. So
it's a whole different dynamic there.
Very, very, very. And even to the point where I was in therapy trying to understand. So I know who I am. Yeah. I'm very confident in who I am. Why am I attaching myself to this title? Because that's not who makes me who I am. That's just a title. So yeah, that's like a whole nother story for another day. But I did struggle with my identity not being in those positions anymore.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you about yourself. Like, because you look amazing.
Thank you.
Like, how do you keep yourself up daily? Like, even as an entrepreneur full time, even at a corporate, like, what do you do self-care wise? So my husband calls me a cardio bunny. Okay.
because I can walk and jog and do the elliptical all day long. And as soon as I have to lift a weight, my body is falling apart. Like, so, just, I love walking, jogging, and doing the elliptical. Those are my things. And I really do try to eat right, just for health purposes, and, just seeing my family and ailments that they have dealt with, my grandma, my parents, all those things. I'm like, I don't want that to be me. And plus, teaching my kids to be healthy and eat right too. So, I try to eat right. I can eat a salad every single day. Yeah, but I also have an issue with candy. I keep it in my nightstand. I love candy. Oh my goodness. Red Vines. If anybody wants to gift me, matter of fact, whoever owns Red Vines.
So I know you're watching.
Send me some. But no, seriously, that's my downfall. It's sugar and just really candy. Not chocolate. It's the fruity candy.
The fruity candies.
I'm putting it out there if anybody wants to do a gift basket or something.
Come to the event.
But no, I really believe in just eating right, getting my water in, and keeping myself active and healthy. And I meditate. So that's another thing. I do meditate often. Just because that is, it keeps me grounded, and it just keeps me in touch with myself and just the earth, and that's really who I am at the core.
I thought about you this morning.
Did you?
Yeah, because I was outside in my backyard with my socks and shoes off.
Okay.
And I'm like, I know you'd be grounded.
Yes, ma'am. you have to, and just it's nature. It's, how can anyone talk bad about nature? That is where you find peace, you find yourself. Those are things that we should enjoy. They're given to us. We're blessed with that. So I really do believe in just being out there, sitting outside, and I love watching the sunrise. I love watching the sunset. That's beauty to me. And we always, my family, we all kind of take pictures and we send them to each other who got the best shot, just because that's who we are.
Yeah, I love the family dynamics. That's good.
Thank you.
All right, so I just really want to hone in and remind ladies of a couple more things really quick.
Okay.
When it comes to entrepreneurship, being a bad businesswoman that so many of y'all are who are watching, we've learned so much from you already today, but what are your words of wisdom for any woman who's either in corporate America at that high level, or that lady who left her corporate job and now she's like, who am I? Like, I'm used to being the boss and being up here and,
Yeah.
So what is your words of advice?
I would say never give up. Never give up. If you wake up at 2:00 in the morning and you have thoughts, write them down. If you have an iPhone, put the notes in your phone. Android, I don't know what exactly to do with that. But no, you have to write it down, and you have to know, never let anyone tell you are not good enough or try to change your path, because it does happen. Even to myself, people are saying, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you do that? You'll be better at this. No, I want to do exactly what's in my heart and what God put on me to do. And that's where people get lost. So instead of wanting to give up, find people who are supportive. If your group is telling you, you can't do that, that doesn't sound right, that doesn't make sense, those are not your people, let them go. Maybe that could be the folks you drink with, but not the people that you really want to build your future with. So keep going. If there are certifications needed, if there whatever it is needed to start your business or to grow in your career, do it. And join networking groups, because most positions, I will say the last 3 roles that I had in corporate America was because I knew somebody. I didn't have to interview. They called me and said, hey, we want you on our team. That's the space you want to be in. Everyone knows everyone, but you have to put yourself out there and never speak negative about what you want. They're never going to hire me. My business is never going to grow. You cannot do that, because you're putting out there that your business is not going to grow. So those are kind of things I tell people, and I try to motivate people and say, write it down. If my husband, when we met, he would write stuff on his mirror, and I was so against that. Like, you're writing stuff on your mirror? Like, oh my God, no, you can't do that. Write it on a whiteboard, write it in your notebook, keep a little notepad next to your bed, but always tell yourself, I am good enough, I am amazing, I am beautiful, I am talented, I'm educated as hell. Still paying student loans, but I'm very educated. But do those things, because you are your person, and you have to motivate yourself on the days when nobody else is. So I mean, that's really my tip. Keep going, boo.
Keep going, boo. You got this. Man, Chrissy, it's been such a blessing being in your beautiful space. It feels like home, you guys. She has so much going on that you want to be a part of and you want to know about. So check out the show notes at the bottom. She has her book launching. There's different workshops going on here in this space. There's rental spaces available. There's photography going on. There's business plans going on. As you know, there's a lot going on. So make sure you connect with Chrissy and Chris. You don't want to miss out. And thank you so much for watching. And thank you for being here.
Thank
I
you.
usually give a hug, but I'm not trying to put it
I know, right? We're just stuck. Bye, everyone.